Franchise Sports Media!
What's going on, fight fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the main event right here on Franchise Sports Media. I'm your host, Kalani Lua, and man, oh man, it just keeps on rolling, This past weekend, we had in the other desert, Abu Dhabi, UFC 321 go down. Boy, man, oh man, we got some stuff to talk about there. We also had Power Snipe 16 take place, and then guess what? In Saudi Arabia, we got Power Snipe 17 going on. Let's dive into it. UFC 321, 2 title fights on the line. We saw the heavyweight championship finally get defended. Tom Aspinall finally, after so many years, gone from the cage, waiting down for John Jones. John Jones been ducking him. He finally just stepped back into the cage to take on Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane coming in, new focus, ready to go out there and show that, hey, I can be a world champion, and this is my time to shine. Tom Aspinall was like, hey, I'm supposed to be the next great heavyweight. I've got all the makings of it. Now let me go out there and get some more wins on my belt as the champion. Aspinall's never been past the first round. He has finished everybody quick, fast, and in a hurry. He does not get paid by the hour. Ciryl Gane had a perfect game plan. And if you guys remember on the show that I said last week, Ciryl Gane's going to have to stand in front of him. And then when Aspinall tries to blitz him, he's going to have to circle away, use angles. He's going to have to kick that front leg so he can't be explosive off of it. And he's going to have to stick a jab out in front of him, body kick, head kick, maybe a kick right at the middle that I was suggesting. Well, Gane must have been listening to the show, like you all should be. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. But Ciryl Gane was able to go out there and, for moments, neutralize some of Tom Aspinall's game plan and his usual attacking style and keeping him at bay. Now, don't get me wrong. Tom Aspinall also had his moments where he was coming in, landing good shots, countering as well. But you can also see, and the commentators were breaking this down before we get to how the fight ended. We'll get to that in just a moment. But you even hear the commentators saying the lead leg of Aspinall, it looks a little tender right now, starting to get a little red. You notice he's a little gimp on it. You notice whenever he's coming in, and Ciryl Gane would change his fighting style. Oh, you want to go southpaw all the time? Cool, let me switch and circle this way. Oh, you want to go conventional? Let me switch my stance and go the other way. Keeping Tom out of being able to get into his rhythm. Not allowing Aspinall to get his range down perfectly every time. Ciryl Gane throwing some leg kicks, throwing some counters. I didn't like that his hands were down at times, because I felt that with Tom's hand speed and power, but you got to keep him up. But you saw every time he got close, covered up, ducked down. Gane was able to extend the fight a little bit longer than what Aspinall was used to. Now, again, Aspinall has been out of business for quite a while. What, year and a half? Because he's been waiting to hopefully fight John Jones for the heavyweight championship. So with him being all that time away outside of the cage, now he goes in there against a skilled stand-up striker, as in Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is one of the world-class fighters in the UFC as well. And then you throw in the ring rust of being gone for 15 months. Aspinall at times looked like, okay, this is what it feels like to be back in the fight again. And then, and it was mentioned in commentary, because he's so used to finishing guys early, he's throwing a lot of big shots. He's trying to land that knockout punch. And when it's not there, is he's starting to take a couple extra deep breaths. We saw this with Shane Carwin, if you guys remember back in the day. Shane Carwin was knocking people out. Bing, bop, boop. Well, then he takes on Brock Lesnar, nearly finishes Brock Lesnar. Brock survived the storm, came back, and then he was able to get a gas Shane Carwin down, second round, submits him. There you go. It looked like had this fight continued to go on, we might have saw that from Aspinall, but unfortunately, we cannot see that. You see what I did there? You see what I did? Ciryl Gane pokes the eyes, gouges the eyes, goes into his skull and scratches his brain and says, let me know what you're thinking. Boop. Hey, Mo. Ciryl Gane gets the eye poke. Aspinall took nearly 5 minutes where he couldn't see, tried to recover, and they called it no contest. And it is very frustrating that in 2025, the end of 2025, we still have this problem in the UFC. This is nothing new. We have seen this happen many, many times, and we've only seen it a handful of times where people have suffered eye injuries in there where they couldn't continue because of the eye poke, or they were severely compromised because of it. And the reason it's so frustrating is Okay, if everybody was having this issue, that's fine. You know who didn't have this issue? Pride FC. Because Pride FC in Japan made their gloves where your hand was like this. You couldn't really open it to a full fist. Now, you could still grapple. You could still do your submissions, okay? And why don't you go ahead and ask the Gracies? Why don't you go ahead and ask Sakuraba? You can still get the grappling in, Fedor. You can still get Nogueira, Big Nog. You can still grapple and submit people. But you weren't able to, so the eye pokes weren't really a thing then as well. The UFC, we thought, was going to fix it when they tried to promote new gloves. Hey, the UFC's got new gloves. They changed the color of it. Oh, you get the gold gloves for the championship bouts. You get the blue gloves when you're on Dana White Contender Series. Not gonna lie, I kind of like the changing of the color of the gloves. I thought it was cool, especially having gold gloves for the championship rounds, but they still were not fixing the problem with the fingers where you can extend your hand all the way out. And I understand, you want to train your fighters to keep their hands closed, keep your fist, and then that way it's not a problem, but it's just human nature, just like with grabbing the fence. Some guys use it as a tactic, but others, it's just natural that, hey, if I'm being pushed and taken down, I want you to try to grab what's near me. It's human nature. Why the UFC, who bought Pride, hasn't changed over to it. We've seen Coach Trevor Whitman, former light heavyweight champion Rashad Evans, come out with gloves to try to help deal with this issue for whatever reason, whether UFC doesn't want to pay it, whether it's not making sense to them when people are trying to explain it, I'm not sure. But the idea that they're not changing the gloves so that we can try to lower, if not prevent these eye pokes from happening, beyond me. What's also beyond me, the end of 2025, why are we giving warnings to professional fighters? The UFC is the top cream de la creme, the top of the food chain. It is Mount Everest. Why are we saying, oh, hey, that's a foul, that's your warning, that's your warning? No, if you're in the NFL, you jump off sides, hey, you didn't mean to, 5-yard penalty. Face mask, maybe you didn't mean to, 10-yard penalty, all right, first down. Basketball, you get 6 fouls, buddy. Maybe you didn't mean to hit him when you was targeting for the ball. Maybe you didn't mean to hit him when you was going up for a ball. Maybe you didn't mean to hit him when he pushed into you and he fell backwards and you had your hands up. But hey, anyways, we're not going to get into the NBA and all that nonsense going on. Hey, let me get the over-under on that again. We're not going to get into that. But why? Literally, take a point away. Take a point away. I've said it on this show many times and other people have said it as well. But I've said it on this show for a while now. You need to take points away. Low kick in the groin, point. Eye pokes, point. Grabbing the fence, I would say if you grab, I would say the rule for me, if someone shoots it on a double or single leg on you and you're kind of being thrown, rushed backwards and you're falling backwards and you grab the fence, I'll let that slide. Because again, it's human nature to put your hands down, try to catch yourself. I'll let that slide. But if you're up against the fence and you're grabbing it with your hands, hey, buddy, and I'm talking about grabbing. I'm not talking about as you're getting up and you're trying to climb it and a finger slips. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you're holding on to that sucker. Point. Right there, that's 10-6. You just lost your points right there. These are professional athletes. They will change and adapt. Just like with the rule changes with the ground and pound. Oh, one hand is on the ground, now he's a down opponent. 2 hands need to be down on the ground. That's a ground opponent. Oh, actually, now if it's just me, they adjust. This isn't something where it's like, oh my God, what are we doing here? They're not gonna be able to figure it out. They'll figure it out. They would train with it, and it will happen. You start taking points away, yeah, that needs to become a thing. Maybe do what Pride did. Hey, you get 2 fouls in the fight, that's 10%, 20% of your purse right there. 10, 15, 20% of your purse going to your opponent. I poke him and you want to kick him low? Yeah, he's going to get some of your cash, buddy. How many of these guys do you think are going to have issues adjusting their fighting style if that becomes a thing? Daniel Cormier suffered eye pokes. He gave eye pokes. John Jones obviously is the poster boy for eye pokes. But this needs to not be a thing in 2025. 2005, when Pride didn't have this issue. 1995, I get it. 2025, you just celebrated 30 years at the UFC. You're able to do all these amazing things, these arenas, and you can't figure out the glove issues? No. You get past that, though. We were cut short of what should have been something great. What I found interesting in this match was, and I understand it's a very small sample size, and we don't know what would have happened, but Ciryl Gane might have exposed Tom Aspinall. Everyone's been loving Tom Aspinall, the great Brit. He's coming over here, the next great heavyweight champion. Hey, he's going to be like Cain Velasquez. He's going to blitz everybody and just overwhelm them. Speed, power, endurance. He doesn't need endurance because he doesn't go past the first round. Well, what happens now when Ciryl Gane says, yeah, buddy, I'm gonna try to take you to the later rounds. Now, I'm not going to allow you to plant your feet and set up and explode on me. Remember, I said Tom Aspinall reminds me of the heavyweight version, even though I know he fought there. But, like, he reminds me of a bigger version of Vitor Belfort. Lines you up, and bull rushes. And with his hand speed and power, it just overwhelms you. I mean, you're in the heavyweight division. They all got knockout power. But especially someone like Tom Aspinall. And it just overwhelms you. He was swinging for the fences. One, hey, it's been a long time since I fought. I want to come out here and make a statement. Two, I want to truly stamp my place as not only king of the mountain, top of the food chain. I want Jon Jones, I want Alex Pereira, and anybody else in the heavyweight division, light heavyweight division, middleweight division. I don't care. I want everyone to know, you want this belt? I'm the one you got to come after. And then, there is some, hey, Ciryl Gane has shown at times he doesn't fully come there focused when it's a big fight. Look at Francis Ngannou fight, look at Jon Jones fight, but Ciryl Gane has looked good his last 2 outings. He looked really focused this whole time. He was calm, he was collective, he wasn't allowing the moment to be too big for him. And when he was in there before the eye poke incident, he was able to show movement, keeping your opponent off balance, some leg kicks, some shots of my own, pop, 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 pop. He had time at times backing up himself, couldn't figure out the angles, wasn't allowing him to cough the octagon on him. It looked like, hey, didn't you guys say that Jon Jones was afraid to fight this guy? Now, again, I understand that there's a whole lot to say Jon Jones was ducking this guy. But as I've stated on this show many, many times, so Jon Jones is ducking him because Jon Jones, at the end of his career, wants a big payday fight against someone who's worth it. The reason he fought Stipe Miocic, look, if you take out the injuries, that fight should have happened when Stipe was a little bit closer to his last bout than a couple years later when he was way much older and just obeying Stipe. I want to fight. I'm the greatest fighter, Jon Jones. I want to take on the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. Let me do that. Whoop out the bam, gone. Now, I want to take on the biggest name in UFC right now. Who's the biggest name in the UFC right now? Most likely, Alex Pereira. I want to take him on. The story of this man coming in, this short span, this short period of his mixed martial arts career, 2-division champion, going for a historic 3rd division title, knocking people out, the best entrance in UFC, taking on the greatest mixed martial arts of all time, the greatest UFC champion ever. That's a story you can sell right there. Jon Jones wins that fight, I could stand my career and say, I'm out. I'm out of 5,000. I'm out of here. Thank you guys very much. Whereas Tom Aspinall is big in the UFC world. He's big in MMA world, but he's not the big name to go out there and get that career-defining win. Remember when Daniel Cormier won the title? What former champion did they have come in the cage for him as a potential next opponent? Brock Lesnar. Why? Because Brock Lesnar is the big name. Brock Lesnar brings eyeballs and attention to this particular matchup. That little confrontation that they had, that is going to sell. That is going to be big time right there. Because people know Brock Lesnar, former champion in Brock Lesnar, brings a lot of credibility to the cage in Brock Lesnar. TC, all his accolades, one of the best to ever do it. That's how you sell it. That's what Jon Jones wanted with Pereira. I want to fight someone where it's easy to sell. There's a boxer, Floyd Mayweather, where it was a point where he was fighting and he said, listen, some of these guys want to fight me, but I'm the A side. It's my name that's carrying the fight. I'm the one that's got to sell this. People are buying it because I'm fighting, not because of who I'm fighting. So some of you guys, yeah, your resume may be good. You might be highly ranked, but you're not on the level yet to face me. It's kind of like when you play the video game, Street Fighter coming out, Mortal Kombat coming out, where it's like, hey man, before you get to Shang Tsung, you got to beat these other guys first. And this isn't about me trying to get the division to be cleared. This isn't Tito Ortiz having Chuck Liddell take out all these other killers. No, but if I'm champion, I need to have somebody sitting across from me where it's mega bucks, mega powers. Guess what? Especially if it's my last fight in my career, I want to go out. This isn't pro wrestling where, I want to pay it forward. Go out on my shield and push a young wrestler up so that they can use that and catapult them into stardom. No. This is the fight game, baby. I want to go out there and be like, hey, I want to be able to show that I'm still the baddest. And I want to finish taking on the baddest out there. And Jones wanted Pereira. Funny because when Jones wants Pereira, not Aspinall, he's ducking him. But when Pereira says the same thing, he wants Jones, not Aspinall. Oh, that's smart. Smart, makes sense. Go for the big fight, big payday. It'll be huge. Funny how that works. Funny how that works. He not ducking Aspinall, but apparently John Jones is. Okay, cool. Cool. But Tom Aspinall with the eye poke, he had the eye patches. Matey, could be the Raiders logo. We need a lot of help on the Raiders, man. But Tom, can you play DN? Can you play tight end? Can you play left tackle? Can you do something? We need a quarterback, I'll tell you that. Tom, can you throw the ball? But he's from England. I don't even know if he knows what football is to him. He might try to kick it. We already got Daniel Carlson instrument. Yeah, we don't. Oh, man. But with this, Ciryl Gane's had issues with fouling before, so do they get a rematch somewhere down the line? I would think, depending on Tom's health and time frame for return, I would like to see them running back. But then with how it's gone and the way it played out, I wonder if the UFC is going to say, well, we're going to put somebody else in there with Tom. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Also, UFC 321, we had the women's championship on the line, the women's strawweight belt going in the co-main event. Mackenzie Dern finally reaches the mountaintop after climbing that ladder. She is now your new women's strawweight champion. She joins, as she pointed out, Fabricio Verdum as the only fighters to win AOC or ADCC, the top level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition, and a UFC title. Bravo to them. 5-round decision victory. She went out there and, she was able to show her improvements. She was able to show her grit. Remember, she came in here as a jiu-jitsu expert, yet her striking's gotten better and better. She has shown in wins and losses. She's willing to stand in the pocket, get in the phone booth, and get raggedy and dirty with you and stand and bang with you. Hey, she ain't just a pretty smile and a nice face trying to take you to the mat and submit you. No, I'll stand here and bang with you. I'll be your huckleberry. So shout out to Mackenzie Dern getting that terrific victory right there. It'll be interesting to see what matchups. Next, she pointed out she wanted Tatiana Suarez next. That'll be an interesting one. Suarez, the female Habib with her wrestling background. Mackenzie Dern with her jiu-jitsu background. Would the grappling play each other out and they become the standard war? The way Suarez got dominated against Wang Zhe Li, though, in her championship bout, I don't know if Suarez is going to be right there to get the next title shot right now. Maybe she needs to get an impressive victory to put her name in there. Time will tell where we go with that. Umar Nurmagomedov defeats Mario Batista in a decision in the... Sorry, I apologize. I found this interesting. So, because the fight before, we had Alexander Volkov in the heavyweight division defeat Almeida, who was basically just taking him down, holding him there, didn't go for submissions, didn't try to advance position, just holding him down, right? Well, Volkov got the victory. Bravo to the judges on that. Hey, if you're going to take me down, you got to give me that, right? He's not doing anything. I'm pointing him on the feet, so bravo for Volkov getting that victory. And Almeida, oh man, I saw online people were saying Almeida's the Brazilian Osman. So Osman wins the championship against DDP, basically doing the same thing. I know he got like over 200 hits, but it was pretty bad. I don't get pity patted by him. I'm not a trained professional fighter either. But it's not like he was going in there trying to get the victory in these dominant positions, just trying to play it safe. Well, you had Umar, in a sense, doing the same thing. We know how dangerous Batista is, so you want to be careful in the stamina game. But Umar, as well a fighter as he is, was able to go out in there, dominate with his grappling and wrestling, show off his strength. But like I say, some of these performances that we will call dominant, when other fighters do it, we say it's boring. And I'll say this, just like I said with the Hamzat, when he won the title, had he had that performance on the Dana White Contender Series, would he have got a contract? If Umar had this performance on Dana White Contender Series, would he have got a contract? I don't know. Is he next to get a rematch against Merab? Possibly, after Merab fights Peter Yan at the end of this year. We'll see. We shall see. It'll be interesting to see where they decide to go with that, because Merab's definitely running through that division. Does he want to run it back with Umar again? Does Merab maybe beat Peter Yan and say, hey, I've beaten everyone in this division that's at the top? If you're not going to give me a champion versus champion fight with Pantoja moving up, then let me move up to 45 and try my luck there. Merab versus Alexander Volkov? Yes, please. That was UFC 321. Before we got to that, though, Friday morning, we had the Power Slap 16. We had the champion in the light heavyweight division, Wolverine, taking on Alan Klingbeil, possibly match of the year. These guys went at it. It was phenomenal. They were staggering each other. They was hurting each other. Klingbeil at one point looked like he was going down. What was interesting with Klingbeil, he had a couple fouls where he flinched. And what you don't want to do in the slap is get slapped twice in a row. But it seemed like when he would flinch and he would take the second one better than he took the first one. And every time, no, baby, I got it. Kryptonite, baby, kryptonite, the Kryptonian. So he just got stronger and stronger at times. And there's a couple times he rocked Wolverine. Not something we're used to seeing where it looked like Wolverine might be the one going down. But that wasn't the case. Wolverine got the decision victory. It was a hell of a fight. One of those emotional roller coaster bouts where you just say, holy smoke. So much fun to watch. What a way to cap off the event itself. For a power slap event, tremendous showing. In the co-main event, we had a super heavyweight showdown with my man, Bikini Manu, defeating Dumpling. Oh man, this was interesting. These two super heavyweights trading blows, going back and forth. We know Dumpling, one of the premier athletes in this event. Started from the bow, now he's here. One of the biggest names in the sport. Looked like he might have had a couple chances of putting him down, but Manu was able to go out there and say, no. At one point, it looked like he might have dropped Dumpling as well. Did his famous point to the camera, point to the crowd, baby. I see ya. Dumpling over there, leaning over the table. Whoop, boy. So, great to see that. Do we see Manu now go after the super heavyweight champion himself, the Hawaiian Hitman? Do we get an all Polynesian affair there? Hey, brah. That would be a lot of fun in itself. Power Slap continues to grow, continues to move forward, continues to be so much fun to watch. And I'll say this, look, I know it's like watching a live car wreck, but you got to watch it. Watch it on YouTube. It's free. Why not? If you ever get the chance to go to an event out here in Las Vegas, or if it takes you on the road again, be sure to go check it out. It's so much fun. So that was last week. This week, we got Power Slap 17 going on. They're coming in right back. We got the champion, Anthony Blackburn, stepping up. We had him on the show right here before. Y'all remember him. He is going to be putting his title on the line against Cole Young, the only man to have a draw with Blackburn. Blackburn, who's undefeated in Power Slap, has been knocking fools out a chin of iron. I mean, good Lord, what is he got? Cole Young's only do that, not only went the distance, but went to a draw with him. That was back at Power Slap, I want to say 2. Yeah, I want to say it was Power Slap 2, but they get their rematch going on. Champion putting his title on the line. It is going to be a lot of fun. And Blackburn, if you guys remember being on the show, he likes to go fast with his. So when he comes up, right on one. Bow! He doesn't want to give you any time to recover. Has Cole Young made enough adjustments and improvement to dethrone the champion, or the champion once again reign supreme? It will be a lot of fun to see how that goes there. This entire card is filled with tremendous matchups. We got heavyweights. We got the women stepping out there. We got welterweights going there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Power Slap 17. Y'all know I love this stuff. It is going to be tremendous. It is going to be fun. It is going to be high energy. The highlights are definitely going to be coming, and we will be having a recap here. So be sure to tune into the main event on Franchise Sports Media. Thank you guys for tuning in for yet another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. Got any questions, comments, X, Y, and Z, leave it in the comments section. I'm your boy, Kalani Lua. Until next time, fight fans. Peace.
Franchise Sports Media!